everyone and welcome to Two-Player Quest. I help you on your quest to find the best two-player board games for you. In today's video I have Paleo, which in my case is by 9 and 9 Games, as this is the Dutch version of the game. Depending on where you are and what language you get the game in, you might have a different publisher. Now in Paleo, you play as a tribe in the Stone Age, trying to survive and complete your missions. You do this by hunting, gathering, helping each other out to get the job done. But how many people do you want in your tribe to make this interesting? Well, let's find out. Paleo is a game for 2 to 4 players that plays in 45 to 60 minutes. It's at a 2.65 on Board Game Geek for complexity, so it's a relatively easy game. And I would say it is medium luck. You get a stack of cards. If those cards are all very terrible, you won't be doing much in that turn. So it all depends on the cards, so medium luck. So this is what the board can look like at the start of a 2-player game. We have one of the boards here, then we have the center board for all the cards. These are your missions, your secret cards. 1 player, 2nd player, where you put all the cards and where you gain new cards, the tokens, various tokens, and all the things you can build are going to be displayed on this, including the starting tent, which is on there at the moment. Now all the cards that are in play have been shuffled together and have been divided into 2 stacks. Here we can see the people that our current player has, their special abilities, and they sometimes gain extra items. So for example, this one gained some rope, this one gained a torch. At the start of the turn, you can grab the top 3 cards of your deck and you can choose which one of these cards you would like to choose for this turn. This board gives you a bit of an inclination of what can be found in what environment. You choose one of these cards and place the other ones back on top of your deck in the same order that you drew them. And then you place this card in the play area. And the other player does exactly the same. Then you turn around the cards and see what needs to be done. So in this case, to defeat this baby mammoth, you would need 4 spears. Unfortunately, the current player does not have 4 spears. Neither do they have 4 spears together, because this is still the start of the game and they haven't been able to make any upgrades. So on a card you can see what sort of can be done and what the reward is. So for example, for here you can get rid of 1 card to gain 1 food, get rid of 2 cards to gain 1 wood, or you can help someone else. And on this one you would specifically need 4 spears, 2 cards, and this one would go into the graveyard so that you cannot be drawn again. As we cannot defeat this baby mammoth, the other player decides to discard 2 cards face down to gain 1 wood. To do so, they put 1 card, this card, in the open, and they take the top 2 cards of their hand and put it in the closed discard pile. Then they would gain 1 wood to their supply. And this card goes back into the normal discard pile. And now the same thing happens again. We go for another turn. So you look at the top 3 cards, you decide which one you want to play and place the other 2 back in order, and you continue on. You keep going with doing turns until either your pile is empty, you cannot do any more turns, or until you decide to sleep because your pile is full of bad cards. At the end of every round, you have missions that need to be fulfilled. If you do not fulfill these missions, you get 1 of these skulls. Now, if you have 5 skulls, you lose the game. After every round, you also need to feed all of your people. Again, if you cannot feed one of your people, you will gain a skull. And if you have 5 skulls, you will lose the game. The intention is to finish the puzzle, or the mosaic. That means basically scoring 5 points. Once that is done, you have immediately won the game. Teaching Paleo to new players is quite easy. It will probably take you 5 to 10 minutes depending on how experienced your players are, but in general you can get going relatively quickly. If you're looking for a great, simple co-op board game that's easy to bring to the table, easy to explain, then this is an excellent fit. Because of its complexity, I think it's great for either newer board gamers who are still sort of getting into the board game hobby. So it's a good next step for me, Or for children, for example. So my cousins, 7 and 8, they really like playing this game. Because it is easier, it's a good co-op game, and they like the survival aspect of the game and the co-opness, it's really good. Also, for people who are less experienced with board games or have a bit more trouble with understanding more complex rules. So in general, if you're looking for a simple co-op board game that doesn't take too long, then I think this is a wonderful game for you. We think Paleo is a lovely little game to have in your cupboard for pretty much everyone, be it experienced board gamers or newer ones. For the experienced ones, mainly to have something to play with people who are less experienced, but it is still fun as experienced board gamers. And for newer board gamers to broaden your horizon. For that, it is a very good game. A few aspects that we really like in this game, for example, is the card choosing aspect. So you draw the 3 cards and then you choose which one you want. I think this is quite a fun mechanism to use with. Right, a fun mechanism to play with. And in general, I like the fact that you can choose different scenarios, you can mix and match, you can try to sort of try things at different difficulties. So in general, even for more experienced board gamers, it is a good game. So in general, we really like this game. Paleo plays well at all player counts. We have played it at all player counts, though I must say the other player counts have been a while ago. But we have played it at all player counts. And it plays well at all player counts. It scales well at all player counts. You have more people, but you technically sort of have more actions to do. You have more people that can help each other do the good actions, because that's one of the things that we've run into with the 2 of us, is you don't have the right amount of people, but the cards you have are always the same. So as a group, you always have an X amount of cards. So whether you divide that by 2 or whether you divide that by 4, technically you'd still have the same amount of actions you still have the same cards, so you still technically have the sort of the same amount of actions you can do. So that's how I say it scales well. But in general, I would say this is a wonderful 2-player game, but it also certainly works very well with 4 players, especially because it doesn't necessarily drag on too much longer with 4 players, as long as the players know what they're doing, than a 2-player game. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching our review of Paleo. If you want to see another one of my videos, you can click up here. If you have any comments, feedback or suggestions, feel free to put them down below. And I look forward to seeing you next time on 2-Player Quest.